Hello everyone, and welcome to another Kev Play. This is Kevin, and we are on episode 8, or part 8, of our playthrough of Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. Last time we did Dragon and On, and we did the Blue Gem, where we couldn't get any boxes, and then we did Off Balance. We did get some flashback tapes. Hey Papa Pig. Before we start, I just want to say the last episode there was another user that came on. His name was Aitor Gutierrez, and he said before I signed off, he said I'm fine and I just like I really like Crash Bandicoot for the PS1. So just figured, I like to, since we have such a small audience, I like to be able to read those comments. I think we're gonna start off with a flashback tape because we got 2, yeah. Alright, so let's do Embryo Superior Study. Let's see what this is all about. How's it going, Pelpa? And by the way, Pelpa...
Testing, 1, 2, test. Oh. Hello, feeble subject. It is I, Dr. Nitrous Brio, your future master.
Okay, so Embryo is running the show here. I love this. I love the nitros blocking the exit here. Is it crazy that this game turns 5 tomorrow? Was the release date tomorrow? That's interesting. Yeah, that is crazy. 5 years of... It feels like yesterday I was speculating about this game. I remember I was playing Crash Team Racing back then. I was like, oh, we first got a first look at it and all that. October 2nd, that's right. By the way, October 2nd is the release date of Ghost of Yote, but I'm actually holding it right now in my hands because Best Buy delivered it a day early for me. I don't know why that's the first I've ever experienced that. But I'm holding Ghost of Yote in my hands. Back of the box says, at the northern edge of Japan, beyond the reach of the samurai, a new warrior rises from the ashes as her homestead. Filled with fury and determination, Atsu will hunt down, and I won't even say the rest because it's kind of like seems like a little bit of a spoiler in its premise, but obviously I think you know that it's kind of like somewhat of a revenge story. But yeah, I hold that in my hands, which is pretty cool. He said, oh yes, my copy is coming tomorrow. Nice. I said, I remember getting Persona 3 Reload early. It was such a crazy experience. Yeah, I think this is the first time, because I don't usually pre-order. I've only been doing it as of recent. And this is the first game I ever got that came a day early. I don't think I'm going to play, maybe I'll, install it tonight. I heard there's, a day 1 patch, so I don't know if that's going to be ready. I'd rather have the day 1 patch before I, really get into it. But, it's cool to have it ready. I'll probably have the base game installed by then. That way, when I come home from work tomorrow, I can just get into it. Alright, we got a little bit of interesting flashback tape here. This one just seems like it's supposed to be intimidating because there's a lot of nitros, but I feel like we can handle this. So the minute I get the game, I'm gonna be deep into that game. Oh, there's stuff up there. Oh, you hear Embryo laughing at me? Alright, I guess we'll start. I didn't see that. So yeah, I can't wait to play. Definitely, I've been playing I'm required to beat Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3+4 almost over 30 times. So I'm getting as much fun as I'm having with the game. I am feeling a fatigue where it's this game can be a background game if I want to put on a podcast, but the grind is definitely real, and Ghost of Yote will be a nice break from that, I feel. This is the best way to go about this. A little bit of an early belly flop there. So, yeah, I'm excited to play, and I think that's going to be it for this year in terms of games I'm going to be purchasing day 1. If any other games come out I mean, I think we pretty much know what's coming out for the rest of the year. Obviously, we'll talk about the state of play that happened last week. But yeah, I think any other game that I'm gonna want to play, I'll probably maybe get it next year, like on a sale, probably. But we'll see. Who knows? Or maybe I'll get it as a gift, maybe Christmas or something. But I don't know. I don't usually ask for gifts for Christmas these days. God. How do I want to do this? Well, I guess if I get rid of this box... Oh yeah, that's state of play, yeah, so... I did, like, every time we have a state of play, I've been using my notes app to kind of, like, write down what the game is that they talked about and the date that they released, that it's going to be released. And, you know, I'm not going to read them all off or whatever, but just, like, so I have a nice, idea of what each state of play usually brings to the table, and I'm starting to like build a little bit of a history log with it, where I can go back to like early June and all that. You said Wolverine. Yeah, Wolverine was a big game at the end of the show. I'm glad that it's, because I know a lot of people were speculating whether this was going to be whether this was going to be kind of like more like the Spider-Man games where it's a little bit more you know, not mature rated or anything, or are they going to lean into the violence with it? Because, you know, the guy has claws. Like, how can you like shy away from like the brutality of that? And I'm glad that they're like really that this is going to be a mature rated game. Is an ultra violent game. You know, that shot where like the claws go up through like the guy's face. That's pretty graphic. But yeah, we all knew. We all. It's like you never know. You never know what a company's gonna do, even in one like Insomniac. And by the way, the director of this game is the same creative director that did the Resistance series, or I think maybe Resistance 2 or one of them. But so the person who's the creative director for Wolverine is I think I have it written down. Let's see what his name is. Wolverine. Yeah, Marcus Smith, creative director. Marcus Smith did... I don't know if he did all of the Resistance games, but he did work on them as a creative director on definitely at least one of them. So that's kind of cool that they actually have some, you know, familiar talent spearheading the creative juice of the game, you know? I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of this box here. Will this nitro get rid of that bouncy box? I don't know. I'm not sure, but I feel like it would. It would have to, right? I could do this. I guess that works. Okay, I figure those nitros are gonna get those boxes, so I don't need to go crazy. It's the only reason why I watched that state of play. Yeah, there was rumblings about it. We all know this game was gonna... Yeah, so you said that. You said give it a shot. Yeah, just give it a shot. I definitely gave it a shot just now. Alright, I think if the nitro explodes, the TNT definitely explodes, and I don't have to worry... Yeah, this I don't have to worry about with the boxes. Definitely want to go up here, but are there nitros up here? There's not, okay. They also kicked off the state of play with another Sony first-party game from Housemarque, Saros, which is something I speculated last episode that we would see, because they definitely teased that we would hear more about the game later in the year. It looks like it's definitely, like, you know, taking what Returnal did and kind of putting a new spin on it. I don't know if it's going to be a game for me. You said, oh, that game. It looks good. I mean, it's just, for me, like, I wanted to really like Returnal. I think the gameplay loop of Returnal is a lot of fun, and I think Saros is going to definitely bring that back again. But I don't know. It's just the roguelike aspect to it. Just for me in Returnal was very incoherent to me. I didn't feel like I was ever, even like when I was like dying, I didn't feel like my next run was any stronger or any, that I was actually like progressing in any way. Whereas like if I played God of War Valhalla, I felt that. Or like even South Park Snow Day, I felt you could apply new like stats or whatever for your next run. Whereas this, it just didn't seem clear what was going on, and I hit a brick wall where I didn't even. It wasn't even that like I was dying. I just didn't know how to proceed. It just seemed very cryptic. And usually I'm pretty good with, and I know what you're gonna say. He's like, oh, why didn't you use a guide? Well, I was trying to look into a guide, and I was like, I don't know what the hell's happening here. It just didn't seem like a game. I feel like it was like a game that if I got over that first hump, maybe things would have worked out more as I kept going. But I don't know. I was just kind of like over it by that point. All right, let's try to do this. What do I want to do here? Yeah. I mean, but it looks good though. At least it's a game that Sony's putting out. It's going to be coming out March 2026, early in the year. So maybe it's a game like I'll wait for reviews and see what it's all about. Maybe they fix some of the problems that Returnal had that will make me be like, hey, let's check it out. Make sure there's nothing there. Alright, what do I want to do here? There's a checkpoint there. Alright, we got this. Also, something going on with Xbox? Yeah, so today was a big, crazy development where I think this year with Xbox is strange because they raised the price of the console twice. What is it, like $7.99 for like the Series X now? I heard Costco isn't carrying Xboxes or anything Xbox anymore. Xbox is like, I mean, Costco isn't like the go-to retailer for something like that, but for them to be like, yeah, we're not carrying anything with Microsoft anymore, but we're going to carry Nintendo and Sony, says something. And then, they try to raise games to $80, and they kind of got some pushback, and they kind of reverted. But now they're taking what was like, what a lot considered like the main selling point to or one of the last selling points for Xbox these days is Game Pass. And how it is like the best deal in gaming, and you're going to be playing all these games for, what was it, like $9.99 a month? Did they raise the price before, after that again? But now it's like $30 a month, meaning $360 a year. That's steep, I must say. Should I explode this? You said that's insane. Yeah. But I was thinking, like, when I heard it was $360, I know a lot of people were joking. They were like, oh, they should just call it Xbox 360 again. 360 for the year. People are always saying that Game Pass is sustainable. I don't know if it, like, for them to be raising the prices that much, when you compare it to, say, like, PS Plus, which I think is $17 a month. Here's the thing. A gamer like me, I don't play games where I dip into one game for a little bit, and then move on to another game, and then move on to another game, and then move on to another game without really finishing any of these games. Like, for me, like, the way I pace my games throughout the year is I play my games to try to finish them. I'll take a month or two, or however long, like, a big game like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, or Death Stranding 2, or, Ghost of Yotei is definitely gonna keep me occupied for the rest of the year. Um, I play games. I think I'm in. I think players like you and me, we're kind of in rare form where we play games that once we're playing it, we're kind of invested in it, and we'll see it to the end. Especially single-player, story-driven games, like, you know. And Sony is a host to a lot of the best of those type of games. Like, they foster those type of games very well. Obviously, there's a lot of third-party games that that are like that too. But for me, like, yeah, when you look at like your platinum trophy and you see like only like 5% to like 2% achieved it, or even the main story mission that beating the story, like there's only a small percentage of people that actually achieve it. So it shows that people do play games like where they kind of just dip in and out. I know people who are like that, especially with PS Plus, where you can add your free games for the month at the end, and like it's kind of like building your digital library and all. But for a guy like me, like I'm only playing like this year I've only bought. I was like, out of curiosity, I was like, let me like add up all the prices of like the games I bought this year, and there's the games that came out exclusively for this year, and then there were games like my backlog games, like I played Jak and Daxter Combat Racing, I played Halo Reach, so I got games like that. I added all of it though, and I was like, it actually is pretty close. Surprisingly, it's actually pretty close to $360 for me for a year. The difference is I'm buying physical, and I'm actually building a physical library at the same time. So obviously, I went back and played South Park: Stick of Truth this year and platinumed it. That was a game I already owned from years ago. And then like earlier than that, I got like Uncharted Lost Legacy platinumed. Obviously, an older game from 2017. So there's games in my backlog that I already own physically that I can always dip back into, and that's what you do when you build a library. But in terms of just the games I bought this year, I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. It kind of put things into perspective for me, where I'm like, I guess I do pay a lot of money a year for games. It's actually pretty close to what they just raised the price on Game Pass to. The difference is, though, I think, I guess it just you have to put into question, what do you value when you have a price like that. I think people were getting away with murder for a long time, paying what little they were for it was a good deal. But now it's like, now you're kind of like, you're basically like a guy like me now who has like 5 games for the year now, plus 2 other games that I picked up. I really played like 7 games this year. I really didn't play that much. And this was like a busier year than normal for me. It just puts things in perspective, where it's like, I get the complaints, but it's like, wow, I actually do pay the same amount. But it's like, the difference is I'm building a physical library, whereas with Game Pass, you don't own anything that you're paying for. If you unsubscribe, you lose access to all those games. So, there's people online saying like, oh man, this kind of makes me want to just build my physical library again now. They're seeing that. Obviously, it's all about what you value and what you how you play. You have to like you kind of have to like reevaluate how the pace of how you play and how much you play, I guess. You said there's no yearly subscription as well. Oh, there isn't. It's a month. It has to be a monthly subscription. So I don't even know what to say about Xbox. Will there be an Xbox in the future? I think there will be. But it'll probably be in a way that we're not used to. I know that they're trying to become more of a third-party developer, or publisher, that is. It seems they're going the Sega route, but I could see them putting out a machine still, like maybe like a digital machine. They seem to not really be fond of making physical games anymore either. they didn't for Gears of War Reloaded. They didn't even give the fans for Xbox a physical copy. They only gave it for PlayStation 5, which was kind of strange. What do I want to do here? I guess I'll just take that out. How do I want to do this? Okay, now we got rid of the nitros. Now they're doing all this TNT tomfoolery here. Let's see. Alright, I guess that works. You said it even crashed the website when people try to cancel. I was joking on Twitter. I was like, it'd be funny. Like, I don't like to fan the flames of like the console war or anything. I don't give a crap about the console war or whatever. Like, that's all silliness to me. But it would have been funny if like Sony fans were just like they were the reason the website was being flooded. They were just like flooding the website so that Xbox players couldn't unsubscribe. As kind of like a way to bleed their wallets or whatever. But yeah, that's insane, and it's telling that a lot of people are just not happy about that. Like people are speaking with their wallets right now, and that's something to think about. What's up with that? Oh, was I already up there? I think I was already up on that when we went right to left. Alright, we got only so much left. We can do this. Oh, there's a box all the way down there. Huh. Okay. Whew. What are we working with here? Alright, so this wasn't too bad. We actually already got 215. Cool. No other tricks. We're back to where we started. Cool.
Exceptional work.
Thank you. Nice job, you said. But yeah, very strange what's going on with Microsoft. And then GameStop on Twitter kind of like took advantage of this, even though GameStop is kind of a sketchy retailer to begin with. But I kind of like found it kind of amusing that they were taking advantage of this, where they were like, I don't know, they were doing like a lot of memes, like kind of like showing how ridiculous Xbox is right now, and basically like saying like, you know, basically like promoting physical games again and being like, oh, you know, like if you want to build your physical library, come back to us or whatever, and or whatnot. It reminds me of like when Sony, that E3, I think it was 2013, yeah, 2013, that the year that when Xbox announced that you have to have like a DRM and you couldn't lend your game to anybody, it had to be authenticated to your console, and you needed to be always online or whatever it was. And then Sony released that commercial where it's like, this is how you share games on PS5 on PS4, and then they just hand a physical copy to one of the other guys. It was Shuhei Yoshida and I forgot who the other guy is, but I remember that being a funny thing. But it seems like GameStop's kind of doing that in a way, where it's like they're kind of taking shots at them, but also promoting their own business. Alright, so this is diary entry, May 30th, 1996. Let's try this one. Since we're on the roll of flashback tapes here.
You may start.
Okay. I think I wanna... Yeah, I can't actually get up there, so I have to... Ooh. Ah. Interesting.
Dear Diary, I seem to be developing a connection with the subject. A fatherly... wait, did I hit the wrong button?
I think the bouncy arrow will actually help me. Okay, that was close. Okay. But there were more stuff at the State of Play also. It seems like Sonic gets a lot of showtime at these State of Plays, strangely. Sonic Crossing... Sonic Crossworld... Sonic... What is it? Sonic Racing Crossworld, or whatever it is. The kart racer. They added, like, Mega Man and Proto Man, I guess, to their roster. They seem to be building kind of a Smash type roster where I heard there's going to be like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and SpongeBob's going to be a thing too, which is interesting because Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3+4 has a reference to SpongeBob and Teenage Mutant Ninja to the Turtles or whatever. So they should have put Crash in the game. That would have been interesting. I mean, why not? You might as well, right? Oh no!
That's a dead one.
Finger slipped. Let's try that again. Alright, I did that actually pretty expertly. Alright, that box will explode on its own. But what else? Let me just like look at the list I had. Microsoft Flight Simulator was added coming later this year, December 8th. Obviously, I'm not really a guy for that, but it's just interesting to see more Microsoft games coming. Halloween the game caught my attention, you know, because I used to watch the Halloween movies back in the day. I like the idea that you can play as Mike Myers and kind of be a supernatural force, or you can play as the victim, or would-be victims, and try to get away, or try to call the police, or whatever. You said... So the next time you stream, I'm probably going to be finished with this, so say by that. You think so? You're going to just breeze through that game real quick? I think it will take me like a month. Usually these games take about a month or so. A little over, like a month and a week for me, I could see. Death Stranding 2 definitely took a lot for me to platinum, but Ghost of Tsushima I remember it taking me like a month to play. Okay. More Microsoft games. There's rumors too that Halo Combat Evolved might be getting announced like later this year, and it's gonna be a full remake. And there's gonna be some weird. I remember people were kind of upset because there might be some like artistic liberties that might happen with the game. That, you know, I think they're gonna add sprint, which is kind of weird for a Halo game. I think one of the later Halo games has a sprint button. But the game really never needed one. I know a lot of people who are like hardcore first-person shooter fans and fans of Halo in particular aren't really happy with that for some reason. But which I kind of get because I miss those kind of floaty games where you didn't need to worry about your going faster. Like as long as you are walking, then you're going fast enough. I'm just looking at my thing before I move on here. Yeah, nothing really too crazy. God of War 20th anniversary controller. A lot of people were expecting like a God of War collection or something for PS5, or like some type of God of War something, but they just got a controller. I guess a little bit of a disappointment for those fans, I guess. But whatever, 2022 is the last God of War game they got, and I'm sure there'll be more at some point. Okay. Alright, so those nitros I don't have to worry about. What do I have to worry about, though? The TNT. It looks... Okay, I see. Oh! Not a fan of this. Don't. At least I have a checkpoint. So it's not going to be the anniversary edition. The controller is. I don't know. Yeah, I think people were expecting like a game or something, or like a remaster or something of the original games. I know people are clamoring for like a new Greek game. Ever since Valhalla, they got a taste of like the Greek mythology coming back, and I think people were excited about that. Okay, I gotta be careful here. Before I was able to survive there, but I wasn't all the way to the right. Now, what I'm kind of excited or intrigued about, I'd say intrigued more than excited, but kind of excited too, because, I'm a longtime fan of this series, is they announced that there's going to be a Simpsons movie 2 on July 23rd, 2027. I was a big fan of the show, obviously, since the 90s. When the first movie came out, I was there opening night, like at 12 o'clock showing, and it was packed with people. Everyone was like dressed in yellow. I wasn't dressed in yellow. I wasn't that insane, but well, it's not that it's insane, but I just wasn't that I was just kind of a regular schmo. But I was definitely a Simpsons nerd that would want to be there day one. And I remember going to the theater again with another group of friends because at the time the novelty of that movie was just so it was such a cultural event back then, because like really the promotion leading up to the movie was a big event. You said I will not wait 20 years to make another Simpsons movie. That chalkboard gag was the first episode that aired after the movie. So it is kind of funny that they played into that in a way. I don't obviously, the movie industry is I'm sure it wasn't a planned thing, but I think it just kind of like conveniently worked out that but I almost feel like I should just like slide jump around this thing and just let the nitros destroy this stuff. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I remember getting the Simpsons movie on DVD for Christmas 2010. Yeah, I mean I got the first one on DVD right after the movie came out, like pretty much that Christmas. And the one thing I didn't like about the DVD though is the format that it was presented in was not widescreen. It was done in like full screen. So if you're like, and this was a problem with like Disney Plus when they like when Disney bought The Simpsons, is that they basically the movie was cropped in full screen. If you watch in widescreen the way it was presented on the movie theater, you would see like the edges of of what was intended to be seen in the film. And because of that, when you actually watch that DVD, you'll see a lot of jokes. You actually miss some of the jokes that happen on the edge of the screen, which is a little annoying. I think I'm gonna slide jump this. Alright, I think that works. But I don't think I can slide jump this part. I think I actually have to go over. Oh. Okay, that was just like all guts. Okay. I don't think I need to activate that TNT because I wonder if this movie will do well in the box office. That's an interesting thing because I'm part of the No Homers Club on which is like a long-time fan site. I've joined actually after the Simpsons movie, the first Simpsons movie, because I wanted to talk about it or whatever with like-minded fans. And back then, when it came out in 2007, there was no, Reddit and social media wasn't crazy with where you could just find people that were, into the same stuff. You had to actually go to the specific forum of that place. And that site today is it's like thriving, with fans. What was I gonna say? Let me activate this before I do anything. But yeah, we were people on the site were talking about it, and I was talking about it too. Is that back when it came out in 2007, it was such a cultural event because the idea of a Simpsons movie was big because it was you wanted to honor what the classic show was. And I don't think it lived up. I have a complicated relationship with the movie. I don't think it's the greatest movie, but I do enjoy it. And even my critiques of the movie, I still find it as a guilty pleasure, something to engage with. Overall, I like the beats of the broad strokes of the movie. It does make you feel good at the end and everything. And there is a lot to find funny in it. I don't think it's a representation of the classic show. But I remember the anticipation of the first film was a big thing because, one, we didn't really know what the plot was going to be, so there was so much speculation over that. The trailers didn't really give away what was going to happen, but they showed so much, so it just created all these theories and stuff. And then the promotion leading up to the movie was insane too, because every 7-Eleven was turned into a Quickie Mart. You can buy Buzz Cola, Crustio cereal. You can get a Squishy, which is like a Slurpee, and also a pink donut at 7-Eleven and all that. It was kind of cool. The promotion was really probably one of the best parts of that film, in a way more so than the film itself. But I really enjoyed it back then. Obviously, when it comes out, it's gonna be 20 years later. Season 37 is starting right now. The first film came after season 18. So the show was already kind of past its prime at the time. But that first film kind of did... there was some quality to that film that was serviceable for fans. Now, is a Simpsons movie... Are the Simpsons as relevant as they were when the first movie came out? That's a good question, because it's weird because, Disney didn't buy Fox at that time. If you were watching Simpsons episodes, you had to tune in. You had to tune in at Fox, or maybe catch a rerun, maybe on... I don't even think FXX was running them at the time. I don't think FXX was doing that yet. But if you wanted to watch, you basically had to tune in. There was no streaming. Now that Disney has bought the show, bought Fox, and it's on a service where you can watch every episode with where huge fandoms like the Star Wars fandom, the Marvel fandom, they're all on Disney Plus because they all love that stuff or whatever. So it's introducing the show to so many new people. and there's such a new generation of fans, I feel. I wonder how successful The Simpsons can do today. Because I have to say, like, even though The Simpsons are way past their prime, there is a bit of a resurgence or a renaissance in the actual show with a certain showrunner, Matt Selman, compared to Al Jean, where when you watch the show, it doesn't feel like it's like a dinosaur anymore that's trying to be cool. You watch episodes that are showrun by him, and it's kind of it feels kind of rejuvenated again. It feels fresh again, and biting. So, if there's any hope that I have for the film, I hope that they can capture some of that spirit. You know, it doesn't have to be the classic show. I'm not expecting that. But in terms of box office, I don't know. It's like, I know sequels traditionally do very well. You know, could this be like a Happy Gilmore 2, regardless if it's good or not, and be like a smash hit? Obviously, people going to theaters you know, going to the theater experience isn't as booming as it used to be. You know, I saw the Bob's Burgers movie in 2022, which is, you know, another Fox intellectual property, and that movie flopped, unfortunately. I enjoyed the movie a lot. I watched it with my sister. But I was like, dude, we were like the only people in the theater, which is kind of sad. Alright, let's just hope that I got this. Cool.
Incredible!
They said, I think a Family Guy movie would be better. I don't know. I mean, I'm not discounting that, but Family Guy is kind of like, I don't know if you watch new Family Guy, I honestly feel like the decline of Family Guy is almost worse than The Simpsons ever was. Like, it's not, I don't know. Like, I can only watch like Family Guy in clips. You know, I don't really like watch it for I can't sit through an entire episode of it. But that's just me. I know there's a lot of fans clamoring for it. I know they're a little upset that like The Simpsons are getting a second movie. Bob's Burgers movie got one. South Park has like its own movie, and it's getting more, I think, from what I've heard. But Family Guy just has no movies. You know what? Let me do Off Balance because we need to get the. Let's beat it within 3 tries. He said, yeah, I think most people watch Family Guy through clips. Yeah, that's what I see. Like, The Simpsons, like, I really love the characters. I love the world. I love the stories that come from that. You know, Family Guy doesn't really take itself seriously with storytelling. It doesn't really take its characters seriously. It's more of a gag-driven show. Which is fine if that's what it aims to be. But for me, it's like I don't really watch it for, you know, the heartwarming moments or the great character moments or what. I don't know. It's just just a show that just doesn't really hit like that for me. Alright, so last time we figured out the wall running a little bit better, at least.
Once I express my emotion, I'll be strong enough to defeat anyone, even...
Ooh, that was close. Oh my god, I pressed R1 by accident. Literally my finger slipped. Alright, whatever. And let's start over. Cause that's not gonna be good. We just need to beat this within 3. I was rushing a little bit and my finger slipped and then that happened, so whatever. Let's try it again. I said damn. What was I gonna say? But yeah, I'm interested to see what's gonna happen with that. And what I also have to make note of is the last time we got a Simpsons game was the same year as the movie. And the Simpsons game from 2007 existed basically because of, like, you know, the increased mindshare of the franchise during that year. You know, it was a great way to capitalize on the franchise, basically, because there was just so much fanfare during 2007 for the for the movie, for the show, and for this new game. So I wonder if this movie can be a way to revitalize the console drought, the console game drought that there is with the Simpsons. Oh, come on, man. Alright. I'll take that one life as a... So could we get a Simpsons game, or better yet, hit and run? Yeah, you know, I've always wanted a hit and run remaster. I don't know if we're to get a hit and run remaster, I would hope it's kind of just like a one-for-one port in a way. If not that, then I'd rather just have a sequel. Mainly because, you know, the whole thing with like the voices, like every minority character has to be voiced by a new... I mean, I don't know if you ever heard Dr. Hibbert today with his new voice by Kevin Michael Richardson. No offense to the actor, but it's just he does not sound like Dr. Hibbert. And I just hate the era we're in, where all cartoons have changed their voices, and I imagine that's what's going to happen if they have to remake the game. I'd rather them just take the old voice. It's like, but then I feel like they're gonna get they're gonna feel some fear of backlash if from whatever, you know, motivated them to begin with to change the voices. That, oh, like you're remastering the game, you're putting the game out again, but it still has the old voice. It's like, oh, come on, I don't know. I'd rather them just make a new game, maybe. But that's just me. You said, I heard he sounds a little off. He's, out of all the characters that, like, they have Carl has a new voice, Officer Lou has a new voice, but they actually sort of sound like the old voices in a way. Whereas Dr. Hibbert just sounds like Barry White is doing the voice of Dr. Hibbert. It just doesn't sound like the Dr. Hibbert that it should be. And then, of course, there's the whole Apu thing, which, by the way, there's an entire section dedicated to Apu as a playable character in the Simpsons Hit and Run. So, what are we going to do there? Okay, careful. But that's a topic I've talked about before. It's just, you know, it's a frustrating. But I think a new game could be something. I mean, I would love to see like a new open world Simpsons game that's in the spirit of Hit and Run, if possible. I know there's a hidden gem that I have to get here by the way, but I just don't know where it is. So I think I'm just gonna try to go for the other thing for now, just in the interest of time. Oh, let's use this bonus as a checkpoint. So I'll find it. I'm honestly not really looking for it in this run, but I'll come back to this level at some point. If I don't get it. Ooh, that was a little risky there. Might as well get some lives while we're at it. Oh yeah, this one wasn't fun last time. Okay, we got it. Oh, there's a life here. Let's get that. So I'll let you know when you are close. Okay, sure. I don't mind getting hints if you're willing to give them, because I've already got these. I've already got this these gems in the past, so I've already done it on my own. So In the interest of the stream, any help is welcome. I feel like it was like over here somewhere too, from if memory serves. Like in this section. Whoop. So we're close. See now, I remember this being a thing, but let's see. I have a feeling it's like behind one of the fire breathers. Oh my god. Whoa. I feel like if I just train my eye a bit, I might see it. Wrong way. Okay, okay. Now make sure you're not using like a guide for the inverted level, where that hidden gem might be, because see, I did do this last time, so oh, I think I saw it. I think, or did I? I thought I saw it underneath. I thought I saw a sparkle underneath that little roof, blue roof right here. But let's just go this way first. You said what? I mean, you said to go this way. I'm not seeing it. Drop down. Am I going this way? Oh, I think this is what I was thinking of last time, because when you jump from one way to the other and you're using the Kano, it brings you up automatically. Let me try. So am I going to fall if I go down this way? Let's see. Oh, very cool. Interesting. Make sure it's nothing there. Okay. Now enter. Is this the right way? Alright, let's try it. Whoa! Whoa! I don't like how they like threw me like into the wood chipper there. I'm hoping it's like in an obvious spot and not like still hidden. You are so close. It's not here, is it? Okay, just making sure. Come on. We're kind of ruining my I almost feel like I should have went the we should do this on another run because now I guess we can just make this the hidden gem run, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do this without dying. Especially now that I don't have my Aku Aku. Alright. Do it this way. Alright, at least now I know I can do that. Try again, if not, do it on another run. I mean, I can always just make this the hidden gem run. So I know I can do this in 3 tries, in 3 lives worth. Now, how the hell... Oh, I think I just need to not go for where I was going for. Damn it. I don't understand, because if I go into that wind tunnel, it's just going to blow me into the nitros. You said, God damn it. I mean, I can still do it, but... Ooh, that... I forgot the thing was there. How do I do this? I guess if I go straight... No... I'm gonna blow into those nitros. What the hell, man? Just gotta wing it, I guess. Okay. That works. Nothing behind this little curtain. Cool. Okay, it's right there. I see it. Oh, God. This is for all the marbles here. Alright, this one stays stationary, the other one does that. They kind of both go at the same time. Screw it! No, mother... Alright, we'll go for that anyway. I guess that's what's to expect when you go this way, because there is a trial and error to this. And I was not prepared for that. Alright, I guess I can just get that part done. I guess I gotta land and kind of get into another spin. I fucked that up. Damn it. I once again pressed X like twice very rapidly, and my Econo just screwed up. Not a fan of that. Jesus. So there it is. Oop. Forgetting what I'm doing. I hope I'm not in like that loop where I'm like I know I figured out the trial and error, but now I'm starting to forget some stuff, and I'm making stupid things like that. I feel like I'm like, ugh. Damn it. I know I can fight the wind, that's the thing. Whoop, 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 whoop. That was close. Whatever. Let's figure this out. Let's not press... Let's crack our knuckles here and make sure we do this right. Oh my god. Alright. We got it. We actually have to complete the level though, right? Oh! I still have the gem, right? Right? They put me here? Okay, so they blocked it off. I guess it's like a checkpoint. Here we go again. Oh, forgot about that nitro. Okay. This is a long level, I forgot how long it is. Alright, we got it. Okay. Alright, we got enough Aku to last us a lifetime. Don't have to worry about the boxes, thankfully. I think I'll give that... Let's go through the level real quick again. Now that I don't have to go through that crazy detour. So I did get the hidden gem, cool. Alright, let's get right back in it since we're so in the groove of what Off Balance has to offer. Now, if any game needs a sprint button, give it to Crash. I need a sprint button in Crash 5. Oh, let's start that over.
Once I prep my potion, I'll be strong enough to defeat anyone, even Court.
Might as well just use the wall running for that part. Alright, so far so good. Okay. After this, I'm gonna put Ghost Yote in and get that installed. I'll probably wait for that day 1 patch and play it tomorrow. When I played Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, there was a day 1 patch. I remember I played it before I actually got that downloaded, and it was a little rough. So I will. I said, hope you have fun. Yeah, I can't wait to play it. Ghost of Tsushima was such a fun game in 2020. Definitely excited. You know what? Screw the bonus. I don't want to lose my masks. I'd rather just get to the next checkpoint. guy really snuck up on me there. Cool. Yeah, better just get this truck checkpoint. Alright, we got this in the bag. Look at that life. Nice. You haven't got invincibility in a while. Beautiful. And if memory serves, we might get another invincibility. Trick is to go left and then back to the right. Left and then right. Beautiful. We still got a lot of lives. Probably the most lives we can get right now, so. Yep. Memory serves. Beautiful. Alright. Full gems, and we got the paper cut skin. Cool. So we just did a little bit of, you know, flashback tapes, and we completed what we need to complete. There's still stuff that we missed some gems in some areas, but I figure I'll save that for the sweep. This one I definitely wanted to go into because I knew I can do the complete with within 3 lives. Oh, let's look at our skins here. Is there a skin? Oh, it's for you. Paper cut. Cool. Alright, yeah, so next time we already beat Trouble Brewing, so we'll move on to the next world next time. Papa Pig, it's been a pleasure. I'm gonna go play Ghost of Yote. Well, at least install it for tonight. We'll be back next week. Anyone out there wants to like, comment, or subscribe, it's greatly appreciated. You can subscribe to KevPlays9490 on YouTube, or follow me on Twitter at Let's Watch Series. Other than that, stay safe, stay healthy, keep a clear head, and keep on gaming. And I'll catch you all next time. Papa Pig, it's been a pleasure. Peace out. And, all the best for the gaming world out there. It just seems, you know, I'm excited what Sony has for the future, but I don't know. It's like, I don't know what's going on with Microsoft, but I do look forward to more of their games coming to the console. It's good to be able to play kind of like in 2 camps at once. So, but yeah, I'm just rambling. So yeah, I'll catch you all next time. Papa Pig, see ya. Peace out.